Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the 2012 Principal Leadership Team Institute. And now for the event that I've been looking forward to, the Leadership Team panel.
We were excited about opening our new school, but there were challenges. 50% budget cut. 70% of the teachers and 100% of our support staff, including the secretary, was involuntarily transferred to Harris from downsizing schools and departments. Over the years, we tried to implement various programs and concepts to change the perception of the school. It was not until 2009, when we became a Gear Up school, that change could readily be seen. Teachers began to attend professional development workshops to improve instructional practices and understand that they are architects to build future college graduates and not gatekeepers of dreams deferred. Now, we have a waiting list for students to attend our school, and guess what? We are not a charter school.
Hello, so this is how I come into the picture. My name is Janice Escoto. I'm just really privileged to be a part of this school, going into it knowing that I was terrified, I didn't want to do it, and now in this new position, it's kind of like a second home to me, literally. Like, I'm there all the time. So, and I think that it was a perfect fit for me because it showed that, there was this challenge in front of me. I seized the opportunity, and now it does really lead towards success. Our motto is challenging opportunities lead towards success, which is our cults.
Good morning. I'm Tanya Archie. I was one of those parents. Heard the reputation of the school. I heard the reputation of the school, and that was the last place I wanted to send my child because I was so afraid that going into the school with all the bad things that were said about the school and the community, I wanted my child, he was my oldest, I wanted him at the best school I can put him in, give him all the opportunities that I could give him. So John was in 5th grade. He has always been a good student. He always had good grades. He always was, ready for college. He always talked about that college life. When I get to college, I'm going to do this. I'm going to drive that. And something happened in 5th grade. His grades started to go down. The talk about college around the house got less and less. Instead of looking at different colleges online, he would look up the fights on YouTube, and he would look at how many here at this school are going to look like me. And I was like, you know what, John, just focus on the school. Give it a chance. Give me 100%. And after a year, if you don't want to be there, I will move you. He's like, a whole year, Mom? Yes, John, a whole year. In 5th grade, he was diagnosed and tested with ADD. And as his parent, I decided we weren't going to medicate him. I didn't like the side effects. And I told him, well, this is a challenge you have. We know you have it. We will work hard. We will get through it. He wanted to take the easy way out, and he said, you know what, Mom? If I go to another school, it's not going to matter. Nope, you're going to Harris. Mom, I don't want to go to Harris. It's going to be hard. And I said, well, honey, life is hard, and you have to learn to deal with life. First day of school, that summer was not like any other summer. My children usually have their school clothes set out 2 weeks in advance. I'm wearing this on the first day of school. John never took the tags off his clothes. He's like, I'm not going to Harris. I'm like, yes, you are. You have to go to Harris. It's right down the street. You're going. Give me a year. First day of school, I went to wake him up. My younger 2 children were already up and dressed, 5 a.m. Up, dressed, sitting at the table waiting for breakfast. John was still in the bed. I go in and said, John, it's time to get up. I'm not going, Mom. So I'm not supposed to be your friend. I'm your mother. Get up and get dressed. Right. Reluctantly, he did, and I told him, I said, who are you? John Archie. Who are you? John Archie. How are you going to address the staff? Future college graduate, John Archie. Give me some spunk, son. Who are you? Future college graduate. I'm like, go eat. Go eat so I can take you. So I told him, I said, remember your promise, John, 100%. Okay, Mom, I'll give you 100%. John, I'll know if you're giving me 100%. Your grades will show it. I'll give you 100%. John was always on honor roll. First grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, got a little different. First semester at Edward Harris, seventh grade, he comes running home. One of the key things was you get to walk to school by yourself. You get to be a big boy. He comes running home, and he had his certificate. He had made it back to honor roll. After hearing the teachers don't care. There's always fights on campus. The students don't get along. So I waited until he brought me that honor roll. And I said, John, what do you think of the school now? I love it, Mom. I made it. I made it back. The teachers care. They give me the time I need. They care. They care. And I said, see, John, you gave it 100%. So we went through that year. He was excited about going there. Before he had went, my cousin had to move in with us. She's a year older than him. And she had to go to Harris because that was my home school. And she would come home. I don't want to go to that school. And I'm like, Azaria, you're going to be fine. They don't like me there. She came in the middle of the year. They do like you. So I told her, you find one student every day in your class. Tell me their name. Tell me something about them. Reluctantly, she did. She got to where she was comfortable with the school, but she still wasn't comfortable with being called future college graduate. And I'm like, well, that's who you are. I need you to know that's who you are. You're going to college in this family. You don't have a choice. You choose what you're going to do in college and then after college. Reluctantly, she got used to the idea of being called future college graduate. She has since moved back to Stockton and is in another school district where the children are not addressed as future college graduate. But Azaria Jones stands out on campus. Anytime you ask her, who is she? Future college graduate Azaria Jones. And if you ask my son now, who is he? He would tell you, future college graduate from UCLA, John Archie.
My name is Frances Mosley. I'm a physical education teacher at Harris. I teach 8th grade. And when I started there 8 years ago, I had a hard time addressing students as future college graduates. For me, it's like, every kid is not going to go to college. Like, this is a ridiculous expectation to have. No offense, Ms. Besant, but that's how I felt personally. But over time, just being involved in the school and the school culture, it just made me realize that I am not to decide which child is able to go to college. That's not for me to decide. For me, it is, are they prepared if they choose that path? Can they be successful at any path they choose, be it military or straight into the workforce or trade school or four-year institution? And it makes me feel more comfortable now knowing that our students are prepared. They know we have that high expectation of them as future college graduates, so that they have it in their heart, like, I can do this. And so now, 8 years later, it's no problem for me to address them as that. They know that. And in middle school, there's a turnover rate. Every 2 years, you get new people. But they come into that culture and they accept it because they know that we care and we want them to be successful. So even our school song is all about being successful. So if my colleagues will stand with me. Ms. Besant, who is a musical genius, will lead us off. All right, you ready? Yes. Yes.
We give our best in everything we try to do. We want to be successful and make our dreams come true. We respect dear Edward Harris Junior Middle School. Hail, hail to the Colts. The green and gold means growth and winner of our feats. We love a challenge, for we know it's opportunity. Our loyalty will never ever cease. Hail to Edward Harris Junior Middle School.
Yes, all the students know the song. It's no joke. Ms. Besant doesn't play around.
And that concludes our presentation about and now we open up to question and answering. So any questions that you have for any of us?
If anyone has a question, please step up to the microphone right here.
I don't need a microphone. I just want to know if you want to make
Edwards song. In your district.
I will have to tell you, I did not write it. I had the band teacher. We had the melody first, Mr. Wall. The band teacher wrote the melody, and our choir teacher wrote the lyrics.
Thank you.
I just put the transcription in finale.
Dear parent, I am so excited and happy to hear those words coming from you, the enthusiasm and the dedication that you're showing to your family as well as your school community. And,
Thank you.
We are so, I am so encouraged and hopeful that we can instill those values and sense of courage that you have for our school community.
Thank you.
It's very clear from the enthusiasm that you each displayed that you work together very well. Can you talk a little bit about how you work together as a leadership group and whether everybody in the school is on board? And
Well, first of all, we meet once a month, and also our wonderful Gear Up coordinator comes. We meet in the morning on Wednesdays, and we really have a representative from every department here. When Gear Up came, they said that our team really was supposed to include language arts and math. And from working as NASA Explorer School, if you remember, I mentioned that to you about science and math. A lot of times when we would do things, everybody else would shut down and say, oh, that's not me. But when we brought Gear Up in, we said we need to have someone there from every department at the table. This is even why we have our student activities director here. We even have our special education teacher here with us. Even though on campus we do not say special ed, we call them connections. So this is a collaboration so that when we come up with decisions and professional development, they will be able to go back to the department. And when they are inquiring about using Gear Up funds for professional development, they have a representative in their department, and we have the meeting, they come back to us. I'm going to let a teacher speak now.
Okay. I could just use my teacher voice. It does help to have a representative from every department on Gear Up. My whole department knows, oh, we want to go professional development. They'll come and ask me, what do I need to do? Who do I need to ask? And I like having somebody from every department on there. Trying to think what else I could add.
I can add to that too. I teach AVID, and I'm the AVID coordinator as well as a history teacher. And just having somebody that's from AVID on the Gear Up team too is so helpful because AVID itself provides a lot of professional development, and Gear Up is a big component of that. We get a lot of funding from Gear Up for that professional development, so I go out and kind of cheerlead that professional development, especially what AVID provides and requests that we share all of our strategies to the school site. So because of Gear Up, I know we have the funding. With AVID, I push it and tell our teachers to get on board, get involved. So having an AVID teacher on the leadership team really is helpful.
And speaking from the student activities point of view, I actually was not on the team originally, and I volunteered to join the group, and now I'm up here. But the reason that I did is because of the fact that student activities is so important in giving that college-going feel to a school, and all the students know, this is what our school's about. And so with my leadership kids, I'm like, what can we do to encourage everybody to participate and to feel like they truly are future college graduates? So they would come up with the activities. As a person coming from the meeting, they're the ones who implement it. They're the ones who come up with the ideas. I just say, hey, this is Gear Up Week. What can we do? What can you guys do? They came up with all the activities, and it's really great because they buy into it because it starts with them. So I'm happy to be on the team and also represent the electives department, but at the same time, from my position, it really helps to be on the team so I can say, hey, what can I do to help you guys, kind of activities can I do on campus to help this atmosphere that we have going.
I have a question for the parent on the panel. Exactly what is your role and how do you contribute to the program?
Like I said earlier, for college in my house, it's not a choice. Your choice concerning college is what you're going to do when you get there. Well, that's limited because John wants to do law enforcement. I'm not ready for that. But working with the team, I see how important it is just for the parents to be connected, not only with the principal, but also with the teachers. Even if my son doesn't have them as teachers, knowing the atmosphere, one of his things not wanting to go to Harris was that the teachers didn't care. But working with the teachers and being on campus, I do see that they do care. And like Ms. Mosley say, you know, in junior high, you get them every 2 years. You have new students. These students come in with the mindset, some of them, I don't want to go to college. Our jobs as parents and as teachers is to tell them college is, it could be a goal, whether you choose it or not. If you choose not to use it, my job is to tell you that you can do it. Even if you don't want to, you can do it. And working with them lets me know that, you know what, not only my child, every child on this campus has the opportunity, whether they use it or not.
There's been some talk about professional development, and I know that our funds are for professional development. Just what kinds of professional development have you done?
I'm going to ask Melinda to share first.
One of the options that we have is the College Board. They have the AP training, but for middle school, they actually have pre-AP training for, I think it's all the core courses for math, for language arts, for science, for social studies, and I've been to the English one, and it was informative because now you know how to make the curriculum more rigorous, which is one of the Gear Up requirements.
With AVID and how it's been, we always have professional development, and every year we have summer institutes. Because of Gear Up, we were able to send at least 2 or 3 more teachers to those summer institutes throughout the year. Anytime that there was professional development that AVID had, I jumped on it and told teachers to go, and Gear Up was able to pay for that too. So there's been those opportunities.
So now we have about 85% of the staff who has attended the Summer Institute.
Quick question out back. So I'm from the Bay Area, and we are an alternative governance. So we hate to use the word sanction. We have a lot of outside entities coming in to support, and it overlaps very nicely with Gear Up, the PD that we have. My question's a little bit different. I'm wondering, part of our experience was there's so many things that Gear Up offers. We attempted many things, and we went through a process of prioritizing, because certain things lent themselves better to where we were at and how we were moving forward. And so that experience of saying, wow, that's not working as well, these are some other things that we see growing and building. Could you talk about your process when you first started getting involved with Gear Up, and some of the things that rose to the top that were giving you a bang for your buck, and then on the other hand, some things that may have taken a back seat, for lack of a better term, by the nature of where your staff was at?
Okay. At the beginning, I will tell you, I was told about Gear Up at a summer institute I went to, and I was not going to put in for it because I was almost like in an oppressive state as to what was going on. And this person who was the representative of Gear Up, she called me about 3 or 4 times and said, did you apply? Did you apply? So I said, okay, let me get her off my back. I'm going to apply. And so then we received it. The first thing that helped us was the perception survey that we had to take, because we needed to see where everybody was. And from there, we began to prioritize a lot of it. And Tracy, because I believe in collaboration and also leadership capacity, and with the teacher leaders, she led the discussion at a faculty meeting with that, and then we start prioritizing. We also cross-referenced it with our site support that we have. You know, you always have your school plan. In our district, we call it Plan to Achieve Bold Goals. So we looked to see how that also supported what we needed to do. We did have some pushback at first, a couple of years, but with the collaboration and the support, they said, let's stick to it. Let's ignore the naysayers. The naysayers are going to be there, but you cannot let them run everything. And so this is what happened. And then some of the naysayers who were straddling the line began to join the line. So we did more of enhancement. We may have reduced a little bit of a couple of things, but they were already secondary. They were not the primary focus that we had. We also have a strong parent involvement component with our parent university and PK. PK came in to help us connect with our EL parents because that is so important. And we were able to build that where now when we have parent university graduation, we have at least maybe 100, I think it was about 100 the last time that we have. And in fact, tomorrow night is Parent University Night, and any night we will have a minimum of 75 families there. Oh, it's tonight, I'm sorry, it's tonight. Anyone want to add?
Congratulations on your success. How are you working with colleges and universities to instill a college-going culture? I want to know if you have the universities there, the admission officers, are they coming to your school sites? Things of that nature. I'm interested in learning more about what you're doing.
I'm going to ask Tracy to talk about,
And then
you want to do it
Francis.
first? And then Francis.
No, sorry.
Tracy's going to talk to you about our Jumpstart to College night.
We have Parent University, so once a month our parents come. And in February, we make that our Jumpstart to College month, and so we really push the college. We have connections with the admissions and the tours at our local colleges, which is Cosumnes River College, Sac State, and UC Davis. And we get representatives to come to our school, that Parent University, and they do a breakout. So each rep from each college does about 15 minutes, and then we get somebody to speak about financial aid, and we get somebody from our district to speak about the A through G requirements and the things that the district offers. And so parents get these little breakouts, getting information about all the local colleges, and if a student goes to that Parent University that night, they get a permission slip to go on a field trip to visit those 3 colleges. And so that Friday, at the end of the month, we always go. And we always get about 100 kids to go. And it's very successful. And then throughout that month, we really push college. We put college announcements every day or a couple times a week. We put posters, try to really, really enhance that college-going spirit.
There's also partnerships with fraternities and sororities on campus where they work with our youth. And so in order to be in a Greek organization, you had to have been in college. So there's that connection there where sororities will come on and work with the young ladies and the young men and have those open discussions with them about life and college and academics as well. So that's a bonus.
I really want to thank Harris Middle School for their presentation today.
We are Edward Harris.
And we are Gear Up! Woo!